What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on the Stellar Highway. My name is Motormind, and I'll be your host tonight. So we're going to take a look at Death or Glory issue 2. This was a big surprise for me. I really liked Death or Glory issue 1. I have a review of it. You can look at that if you like. But basically, the book went from being a fun car chase heist book with a cool heroine that's kind of stealing from the bad guys to help her adopted father into this just examination of the criminal element of the book. And it's not fun. It's not fun. There's no real action to speak of. There's no heroics. I mean, Glory does save the immigrants that were in the back of the truck, but then she just goes on to be really whiny and bitchy and stuff, and she kind of turns on a dime about stealing and stuff like that. It was hard to like her in this issue. I mean, the art is still amazing. I mean, everything still looks great. All the cars look great. All the designs of the characters. There's sort of like a Mexican cartel type thing in this. I mean, everything looks great. The art is not the problem. The story is not really the problem. The dialogue's not really the problem. It's just the tonal shift from issue 1 to issue 2. I felt like the first issue was fun and exciting and kind of a cool heist book, and she was doing, the right thing in a bad way. I really liked that. But this book doesn't have any redemption stuff in it. It has this weird scene between the deputy and the sheriff from the last issue. That is the reason I can't really open this book, is it because it's full of weird stuff, weird gore, lots of super violence and stuff. This was a miss for me. It's well written. The dialogue is super foul and super crass, and all it works within the context of the book, but none of it's especially fun, and that's kind of a problem for me, because I walked away from the first book thinking, man, that was cool, that was fun, unexpected. That she goofs up, she makes some mistakes, she improvises, but this book is just, it's just a lot of setup for the bad guys, and the bad guys seem cool enough or whatever, but it's just not any fun, and they're not as interesting as the liquid nitrogen guy from the first book. And it's funny, if you've seen my review of the first issue, there's sort of this villain that uses liquid nitrogen on people, and I kind of complained about that in the first book. It was like they were trying really hard to come up with a unique gimmick for the bad guy, and at the letters page in this book, the author actually addresses that and kind of says, oh yeah, I could see how you see that, so that felt good. I have to say. But that guy was more interesting than the villains in this book, and I guess he's totally sidelined. They do mention that he survived, and they've kind of stitched him back together or something like that, so I think the ice guy will be back, the liquid nitrogen guy will be back. But will I be back? I really don't know. I feel like I'm going to wait and see. I might flip through issue 3, I might see what people are saying about it online, but I need this to go back to being a fun heist book. And if that's not what this is, if this is going to descend into weirdo sexual stuff and super gore and just drenched in foul language and stuff like that, that doesn't sound fun. It doesn't, it's not a bad book. It's written well and everything. It's just not, the shift in tone is just so huge. I think from issue 1 to issue 2, I don't think I'm going to be the only guy blindsided by this. Is it a good book? Yes. Is it well written? Yes. Is it fun? No. It was a miss for me. It might not be a miss for you if you want super gore, super violence, super crass, super foul language, not much heroics. Also, this book doesn't have a lot of action. I would say it's almost completely devoid of action. There is violence, there is gore, but there's not action. There's no car chases or anything in this one. And I guess that's what I wanted. I feel not really like it was a bait and switch, but I feel like we had a dynamite opening sequence, and now we're just doing the diner scenes at Pulp Fiction or something like that. So Death or Glory 2. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you've seen my other review, if you kind of want to mash the stories together and get an impression from it, let me know what you thought in the comments. Ring the bell to get notifications. Subscribe. Thanks for listening. And I'm going to start talking about movies. I even have a little video game thing I'm kind of working on the side. So I kind of plan to diversify the channel and do some other things with it. So I won't always be talking about comics, but that is one of my main interests. So comics aren't going away, but I think I'll start talking about a few other things as well. Again, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Thanks for riding on the Stellar Highway, and I will see you next time.